He's Greg McElroy, works for the Mothership, covering college football, former Alabama quarterback. He's got a national title to his name. Good game, great game, or just great finish last night, Greg?
I'd say great finish, but I'm going to be a prisoner of the moment, Dan, and I'm going to say that was just a great game, right? I mean, it was dramatic. There were moves made in the game that you just don't see. I mean, how often do you see a former SEC Offensive Player of the Year get the hook, and all of a sudden a true freshman goes in for his first meaningful snaps? I mean, it was like a storybook ending to what was an Academy Award-winning drama. I mean, it was great cinema, man. I loved watching it, and I thought the execution for the most part, too, was outstanding, which made it much more watchable and enjoyable, too.
What do you think the Alabama locker room was like at halftime?
I have a feeling there were some tables flipped, don't you
Really?
think? I mean,
you think he was yelling, screaming?
Oh, my goodness. Yes. Okay. I've seen him irate on a few different occasions, many of which as a result of my play. So I do think that given the way the game was going, I have a feeling he was very upset with the plan, too, offensively. I think he had a long conversation with Brian Dable, the offensive coordinator, and I think Coach Saban really said, hey, man, we got to start throwing it downfield. I mean, because it's ridiculous how much Georgia was squatting on everything underneath, and they were having very little to no success trying to run the football. They really had one play running the football on offense in the first half, and that was on the quarterback draw when Jalen made a couple guys miss. So they had nothing going, and I don't like the plan at all by Brian Dable coming in because there was no aggressiveness to it. Next thing you know, Tua's in there. They're throwing the ball downfield almost every snap. So I thought it was a really good job of adjusting, but I do sense that there was a lot of frustration. And then on the flip side, a lot of relief on the back half of the game because I've never seen Nick Saban so happy at the end of a game. Knowing the adversity that this team went through with injuries and making such a huge strategic decision there at halftime and it paying off for him, I'm not sure he could have handled it much better.
We had Lane Kiffin on in the first hour. He said that he thinks the assistant coaches probably brought it to Coach Saban's attention to make a change at quarterback. Do you believe that?
It would not surprise me. I think Coach Saban obviously has final say, but Brian Dable's in charge of the offense. He's the head coach of the offense, and of course, it wasn't going the way he thought it might. So I do think that there's a real possibility that idea was first introduced by Brian Dable because he's watching it closely. He's going through the progression from the sideline. He's saying, man, Jalen's not seeing the field the right way. I mean, we got to make a change. So I have a feeling that it was a collaborative effort, but it might have first been brought up by Brian Dable. Certainly don't know that for sure, but of course signing off on it's still the big dog, and what a job it was by him to make sure it was the right call by gauging the temperature of the team.
But this also changed college football. That move won a national championship, and it probably means that you have Tua as your starting quarterback now for the next couple of years. Jalen Hurts' future as a quarterback at Alabama, that may have changed his plans as well. So there's some fallout from this, and I'm going to guess mostly good stuff for Alabama. But I said to Kiffin, what's Jalen Hurts do? And he said, I wouldn't be surprised if he transfers. Your thoughts?
Yeah. I think that's a very real possibility. He's from Texas, and the Texas Longhorns are in the quarterback market. And by the way, he didn't redshirt. So when he does transfer, if he does, and I would assume that's what he will do because he's a quarterback, it's hard to go to a guy and say, hey, do you mind playing outside linebacker? Are you good moving to running back? I just not a lot of guys take kindly to that move, especially at the collegiate level. And I do think that it would be very interesting. He'd be a sought-after guy, having all the experience that he had, and knowing that the year to really focus and hone in on his skills, and still would have 2 years of eligibility remaining. So I think it's Tua's show moving forward. I mean, it was pretty clear and evident that he provides a threat through the air that we just haven't seen from Alabama in a few years. And he has a young nucleus of talent around him. At one point yesterday, Dan, they had 6 true freshmen on the field on offense.
Yeah.
Think of
I know.
6 true freshmen in crunch time on offense. And,
At Alabama.
I think that young group at Alabama, of all places, which is as stockpiled and rich with talent as anybody, and develops talent. I mean, it's insane to think of the youth that was on display last night for them, and that young group is going to continue to grow and mature, and they'll probably win a national championship next year. It wouldn't surprise me at all. But I could see Jalen Hurts maybe going back a little closer to home, maybe a spread-style attack, like a TCU or like a Texas, who, everyone needs a quarterback, especially in the Big 12.
He's Greg McElroy, the ESPN college football analyst, former Alabama quarterback. Where's that national title ring?
I lost it. I lost it on a bet to Fritz, and McLovin tried to pawn it off me after I got him in the Wonderlic.
Well, so Fritzy has your national title ring? I didn't know that.
Yeah, on collateral though. I gotta come up with some coins. Yeah, that's for sure. So all the boys back there, they all got it, man. I miss you guys. I haven't talked to you in a while.
Oh, I know. You went big time. You went to the mothership.
Oh my goodness, it's beyond ridiculous.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to hang out with you. We used to hang out all the time.
Oh, I know.
I mean,
how's your dad doing?
He's doing quite well. He was having a good time this past weekend.
Your dad always has a good time.
Oh, is that not the truer words have never been spoken? He's a party in a box, as you phrased it one time, which I think is quite appropriate, given that he's now in retirement.
Yeah,
so it's good living for Big Mac.
Does Saban? This is his last job, right? You don't see him going anyplace else?
I don't. I really don't. But tell me this now. You know the NFL better than I do, and watch it closely, and of course are so involved with everything that you guys do on your Sunday show. I mean, I just don't think that there's a job or an opportunity out there right now that would really intrigue him at the NFL level. I mean, is there for you? I mean, I know the money that John Gruden just got paid, $100 million over 10.
Yeah, but he could get that at Alabama, though. Can't Saban?
He's already making 11.
Yeah, so
but it's still that, but it's that one thing that he never got. I mean, he's done everything that you can get here at the college level. I mean, is there still that itch inside him that wants to chase a Super Bowl? And does he want full control of an NFL organization? And is an owner willing to do that? I don't think it's about the money at this point, because it's unrivaled. He's the greatest college coach of all time. To do what he's done in this era, knowing the competitive landscape that there's no debate. And I know people love Bear Bryant, and there's a lot of other great ones out there, but it's Nick Saban and everybody else below him at this point. So does he really feel motivated by trying to pursue that NFL dream? I happen to think he's not. His wife is very involved in everything that goes on at the program, and she wouldn't be there at the NFL level. And I think, too, I think he was such a sour situation, and with the way things went with Drew Brees and the way they didn't clear him, and I don't think he likes not having full control, and I just don't know if he's going to get that in the NFL.
Yeah, I can't see him doing that, not at this age. And you don't get to recruit in the NFL. You get to draft, and there's a big difference. Would you rather have Nick Saban's career or Bill Belichick's?
Ooh, I would rather have Nick Saban's, because so much of what Bill Belichick and people will always bring up the argument, well, Bill Belichick was nothing before Brady, right? I mean, I think his success is so closely linked to one particular player, the greatest player that we've ever seen at the quarterback position in NFL history. And, I think Brady is credited, and rightfully so, with a lot of the Patriots' success. Whereas when it comes to Alabama, Nick Saban is the only component that's been steady from 2007 got the job until now. There's been hundreds of different players. There's been hundreds of draft picks. There's been guys that have gone on to have tremendous careers, but there's one identifiable piece that's associated with the Alabama Crimson Tide, and that's Nick Saban. So I think that if you want to, as far as how they're loved and beloved in their particular areas of the country, I think they're close, but I think Nick Saban, just knowing that he's done it with so many different pieces and have had to kind of reinvent himself a few different times, it's really amazing the career he's been able to put together.
Just like you, now big time at the mothership, But he's Greg McElroy, the former Alabama quarterback. Please help him find his national title ring. Hey, great to talk to you. Please tell your dad I said hello.
Thanks, Dan. Always good to visit with you guys.
That's Greg McElroy, a former friend of the show. Then he got big time, and now maybe he's coming back. I like that.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.